Hey everyone, my name is Morvialee and welcome to my channel. This is a space that's all things work, life, parenthood, and today we're talking non-techs getting into tech. And I have my good friend Aisha.
Hello, hey.
Who is in the recruitment space, and she's going to share what non-techs need to consider when moving into tech. So, can you tell us a bit about yourself, what you do, and your background and everything?
Yeah, of course. So I'm Aisha and I'm a technical recruiter, and my background is in creative writing and journalism.
So, what made you want to get into tech? Because obviously, creative writing, I think like directing, etc.
Yeah, so initially I wanted to be an author, and as a child I thought, yeah, I'm going to be this rich, famous author. And then once I got to uni, my dreams were sort of shattered when my lecturer was like, it's not that easy, and you'll probably need like another job on the side, and then maybe do writing as a hobby instead. And yeah, and then I sort of needed money, and recruitment can offer a lot of money, especially agency side. You know, you can make a lot of money.
She's the money guy.
But then I guess like I wanted to work at the sort of companies that I was recruiting for, and it became a bit more than just about the money for me, and it became more about financial security, progression, career progression. And so that's why I went into a tech unicorn, as they call it.
So, have you had experience outside of tech? So, recruiting for like corporate companies?
So the first type of recruitment I did was not corporate at all. It was for councils, so jobs from anywhere from like a street cleaner to a teacher or social worker. So they weren't even tech roles at all. I don't have any coding skills. I couldn't code at all. I can.
Tech is a business, just like any other corporation is a business. So, getting into tech, you might not necessarily need to be a tech person. So I hear tech, I think coding, blah, blah, blah. But actually, you need an office manager, you need an accountant, you need someone who, I don't know, cleans, all of those things just to run the day to day operations of the business. So, again, can you tell us about how you can get into tech without having a non tech background?
Absolutely. The first thing I'll say, and something that's like my sort of catchphrase, is shoot your shot. You never know until you get rejected, for example. And even getting a rejection, if you get a little bit of feedback, that's amazing. And I think it's completely possible. I mean, previously I was recruiting for product managers, and there's several types of product managers, but in tech, a product manager could be looking after a mobile app or website or web app or backend system. And they don't even need to have a degree in tech at all. I've actually worked with a lot of product managers that don't have degrees altogether, and they've actually just moved sideways from another industry, maybe started off as a junior or associate, and then from there worked their way up. So, it's completely possible. Like, the sky really is the limit when it comes to tech. And even with HR as well, you don't need to have a specific degree. You can get into any sort of people related role, which is absolutely amazing and opens so many doors as well. I generally think that a lot of positions aren't just limited. And I feel like if you just get into a company, it can be very easy to sort of move upwards as well, especially now that a lot of tech companies offer things like training budgets, and they're really happy to help people to move careers as well within the company. So, you can go from being a recruiter like myself to then becoming a business analyst, and from a business analyst you can become a product manager, work closely with engineers, become a software engineer, and even when it comes to learning to code as well, a lot of companies are also rolling out programs that can help you with that too, and it's not as daunting as it looks.
Yeah. So you don't need a specific qualification to get into tech. You need experience and shooting your shot and drive, basically. But do you think there are any transferable skills that they should mention if they're going for an interview or anything to really make themselves stand out?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's always important to know that any job or any experience you have is valuable. If I worked at Subway, that was my first job. I'm not embarrassed to say that I was a sandwich artist, and one of the key skills that I gained from there was time management. I was also promoted there. I had loads of responsibilities, and I feel like it's important to highlight those things as well. So if you're not coming from a corporate background and you just have retail experience, for example, highlight the projects that you had to work on there. Did you have to upsell? Did you have to interact with stakeholders? Make sure that your CV is clear, laid out, and is worded in a way which attracts not only recruiters but your potential employer as well. And circling back to that as well, with key achievements, make sure you've got key achievements in there too. It's very important that whoever's reading your CV is able to see, okay, so and so did this, this, and this. It doesn't have to be tech related at all. It can just be something that you're really proud of. Because at the end of the day, people hire people. They don't
100%.
hire robots,
100%. And you know what? On that, I have a video about preparing and leveling up your interview. So if you click that thumbnail there, you'll be able to watch it. You'll be able to watch it. If you want to read my article on leveling up your interview prep, you can click in the bio, it's down there. But it's interesting you mentioned key achievements, and what I loved about what you just said, I don't know if this is a Subway thing, but you actually put respect on the job that you did and called yourself a sandwich artist.
Yeah, sandwich artist on period. That was the name of the job title.
Oh, is that what they're actually called?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I feel like with cleaners, sometimes you can call yourself a cleaner or you can call yourself a sanitation engineer. And you can either put respect on your job or just try and minimalize it. But everything that you do, especially when you're going into tech, because I think tech is a lot about credibility.
It is, yeah, it is 100% about credibility. Try not to lie on your CV. I know a lot of friends that have put like they've worked at Debenhams, Toys R Us, places that have closed down. Don't waste time doing that, and don't. If you've got any like facts and figures as well, make sure that they're truthful so you can remember them. Because, for example, as a recruiter, I have like put a lot of money on the board. For example, somewhere on my CV at one role it says I put up 60k in 3 months, and I would never make up that amount, because if I'm now asked that at interview stage, there's nothing worse than looking really stupid because you lied. Yeah. It's just better to be honest. Credibility is so important. And again, no one wants to hire a liar. I love how that rhymes.
Hire a liar. We ain't doing that.
No, period.
My tech journey is completely different to yours. You're, I would say, pretty young in comparison to me, because I'm a little bit on the mature side. You wouldn't be able to tell because my face looks amazing. But I'm a little bit older, so I've had my time in the corporate world. I've kind of climbed up the ladder as such. But you come kind of straight out of uni.
Yeah.
Your A-levels were...
interesting.
Yeah. I'll let you take it from here.
So I would say like I'm a generalist. So when it came to GCSEs, my GCSEs were very ordinary, I guess. Like I did quite well in languages because I speak a few languages naturally. Not naturally, but like my family does. But when it came to A-levels, I got C, C, C. And I didn't even meet the requirements to get into my uni. They just let me in because there weren't enough people that applied for the course. That's the honest truth about it. And during the pandemic, the internships I had scheduled, I had 2 with L'Oréal Paris. One with L'Oréal Paris, one with another beauty company, and they were both cancelled. So I now found myself unemployed, just really struggling. And I was like, you know what? I don't care. I'm going to apply. And that's been my attitude like throughout. So, I just applied to roles that I didn't even have the qualifications for, but I did loads of research so that when I went into that interview, I smoked it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
sorry to cut you. Again, up here, you're going to see a video on how to use, actually you might see a couple, on how to level up your interview prep using the website, their social media and their annual reports. Sorry, go ahead.
I think it's really
Cheeky plug.
important, especially if you're going for like a recruitment role, it's really important to be confident. And I'm a very shy person, and people can never tell because I just put myself forward. And I know that I had commitments. I was living by myself. I didn't have enough money. The money I had, the savings I had, I was like literally running out. And I knew that I needed money I could make, basically.
Yeah.
So literally role by role, I just applied. And before I joined where I'm at now, I applied to like some really huge tech companies. I had 5 interviews with some of the biggest names in tech, and they were all fighting for me. I'm not even gonna lie. That's the energy that I brought to the table.
I love that.
For some of them, they were looking for people with 2-3 years experience. Me, I have under a year's experience.
I love that. I love that. Literally, because, you know, if I were to start again, maybe more just in my field, I definitely think it's important to go through the grind in the corporate space and then move into tech because it's a startup and you're building an organization.
Yeah.
But you've chosen actually straight out of uni, going into tech. Recruitment is recruiting, right? I just need to get people in through the door.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that your take is slightly different and you chose a smaller tech firm than the giants, right?
Yeah. Even when I first started with the public sector role, I chose this company which was very small. The salary was very low, but it was enough to get by, and I knew that I just needed some experience. And then the next role that I went for 3 months later, salary was a lot better. There was also commission as well, which, commission is sweet. I'm telling you, you can make £1,500 on one placement. You make 3 placements a month. That's what, 4,500 plus your base salary. And obviously you get taxed disgustingly, but like the money is nice. Do you know what I mean? Like at 22, it's like, okay, this is good, And then from there, I was like, you know what? I'm comfortable now. I know what I'm doing. I'm ready to go into a bigger company that has all of the values I'm looking for. That's it.
Yeah, I told you, money.
Money. I mean, I'm not in love with money or anything.
It's
I
okay
love handbags, but I just feel like money helps you to live a comfortable life, 100%. And it's so good to be able to like support my family, send money here and there, buy the kids new trainers, save, invest, and just live, just exist.
I feel like if I was 22 again, this is the energy that
I feel like, whatever happens, don't be disheartened, don't beat yourself up. Life is already tough as it is. Just keep pushing. Like you can do it. It's not the same. It's not like a linear journey. It's not the same for everyone. For some people it might take 1 week. For some people it might take 3 years to get into tech. But there's so many opportunities. Just keep your mind a bit open as well. For example, if you've applied at Meta, and they've not responded because you don't have experience, don't let that beat you up. That's okay. Apply at startups as well. Apply at places that have maybe 6 people. Startup experience is so amazing, and a lot of bigger companies do like people that have startup experience as well because it's a fast, quick environment. And in startups, you tend to wear multiple hats, do multiple jobs, get all of that on your CV. And even apply for roles where, okay, cool, the money isn't quite moneying. It's not really doing what you want it to do. But you will get there, like, do you know what I mean? Like, anything can happen in the next 3 to 6 months. Like, I honestly came from a position where I was thinking, how am I going to pay for my food? Do you know what I mean? I was a sandwich artist back in the day. And, I had to just keep having that faith that I will make it and I will be stronger.
It's important that in tech, it might be a bit, you're getting in and you think it's going to be great, whatever. It's a fast-paced environment, but once you get in there and you learn what you need to learn, grasp everything you need to grasp, push through the stress. So you push through the stress of getting through the door, you push through the stress of doing the job sometimes, then you're kind of unstoppable, right?
You're unstoppable, and God forbid if they try to find me tomorrow, I've already got 25 companies that are in my message, in my inbox right now. And I know that it'll be very easy for me with the skills that I have to just go somewhere else. Like not trying to be negative, but there's so many opportunities, even with 1 month's worth of experience. There's people that are going and really shooting a shot and getting into difficult, like traditionally difficult to get into places. So, just keep your options open, stay positive, and just keep trying.
Yeah. And one other thing, this is my thing for like this season, no one knows what you're doing except for you. So either one, you put yourself out there, but also when you put yourself out there and if something embarrassing happens, only you know. Like, low-key, no one ain't trying to like my posts on LinkedIn, but I'm going to keep posting. I'm going to keep sharing my experience, going to keep sharing my thoughts, because at the end of the day, even if no one's responding, this sounds contradictory, people are seeing, and eventually someone will grasp me. But even if people are seeing and they don't respond, that moment has passed and that moment has faded away. So either way, it's a win-win for me.
100%, it's win-win. And with LinkedIn as well, that the way that it works is so weird because, like, for example, my best post, I got like 13,000 interactions on it. And there were like almost 1 million views.
Interaction, like likes?
Likes, yeah.
Okay,
and then with comments, it was like 300 comments. And then the views was like 800 something thousand. And almost 1 million people viewed it, but only 13,000 people liked and commented and interacted. So just don't feel like people can't see your content. Just be consistent. Keep putting stuff out there. Maybe don't post like 5-6 times a day because people will get a bit tired of it. But like, just be consistent. Be you. Be authentic. Don't try and copy other people. Just be your true self, and that's what sells.
Agreed. And we spoke content briefly, just to say, put yourself out there. People see you. So if you have questions or thoughts, I think LinkedIn is probably the way to go if you're trying to find a job in that space rather than traditionally applying. You can say, just have a discussion, start a group, and people will then gravitate towards you. Because
once you put yourself out there, you start receiving. You put it to the universe, you start receiving as well. And by the time you know it, you won't even have to apply for jobs. Jobs will be sending themselves to you, just handing themselves in.
100%, 100%. Do you know what? I'm not going to say anything because I was going to say something, but let me not say it. Before we go, let's touch on work-life balance quickly. How are you finding that?
I love it. Like, where I currently work, I can work flexibly, which means I can work, if for example, I want to go shopping halfway through, pop to Westfield, I can do that. Obviously, as long as I do deliver and I do get my job done. So some days I can work, I'll choose to work maybe 5 hours. Other days I might work 9, 10. It completely is up to me and it's up to how I feel. And on top of that as well, I can work from home, which I love. With the tech industry, a lot of companies are allowing their staff to choose how they work. So sometimes I come into the office twice a week, sometimes 3 times, sometimes none at all if I can't be bothered, to be honest. And I live around the corner. So honestly, like, it offers so much of a work-life balance. And I feel like as well, if you start to feel burnout, if you start to feel like it's a bit too much, it's always good to just speak to your manager. I feel like one great thing about the tech industry is it's so progressive. Everyone is very forward thinking and everyone cares about just people and nurturing people, which I really love.
That's going to be a conversation that we need to have, like diversity and inclusion and equity in tech. What's it like? What do we experience? Because I've heard some people say different.
Yeah.
Which for me, I mean, I've had an amazing experience so far. So that's all of that. All of that. But yeah, also it's work-life harmony now because we're not juggling things, we're making things harmonize with our life and how we want things to be. But anyway, saying all of that, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
I really, really love your energy. I love your vibe, and I know you're going to just completely smash it.
I love yours too. Amen. And same to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me. Everyone, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.
Bye.